What's the creepiest thing your child ever said to you? My son was around 3 at the time. Kept refusing to go downstairs as that's where Angel Man was, and Angel Man wanted to hurt the family. Not my kid, but a little girl in my son's kindergarten class told me she lives across the street from a cemetery. I asked her if it was spooky to live that close to a graveyard and she said very matter-of-factly, not during the day. But at night they all walk up to our windows and scream. How come you're not waking up tomorrow? My 5-year-old was speculating that the tooth fairy probably takes the teeth to put in her own mouth, so that she has millions of teeth in her mouth. Yikes. My 5-year-old daughter is trying to process the knowledge that everyone dies. So she tends to casually drop stuff about me dying into normal conversation. I know this is her age-appropriate way of trying to process the concept of mortality, but it is so unbelievably ominous and it comes out of nowhere. I like your pretty dress, Mommy. But you won't be able to wear it when you're dead. I love you, Mom. But I'll miss you so much when you're dead. She also once dropped an absolutely terrifying comment about snuggling me when I'm dead. ETA, I'm 28. Which in her mind is ancient. I am practically at death's door. Just after my little brother was born, my mom, 3Y. Oh. Sister and I were talking about what not to do around the baby. Things like not leaving small toys out or throwing balls around the baby. After a few minutes my sister chimed in and said, and you don't cut off baby's lips with a sharp knife. My daughter was 4 and while we were eating breakfast one morning she says, I was on a mountain once, and my dad died and then I woke up and was in this house with you and Mama. Then we just sat there for a few seconds and looked at each other. Then she said she wanted to watch Paw Patrol. I have an awesome video of my son. He was maybe 2-3 at the time. He was taking a quarter and trying to put into the slot just above the door handle of a closed closet. He kept repeating, his name, pay the lady, I pay her. When I asked what he was doing he responded, I have to pay the lady in the closet. I asked him why is there a lady in the closet. He said, she lives there. I pay her. My youngest, was 4, was on the carpet playing with his cars. Son. I can't wait to get a new house when this house explodes. Me sad face, half listening, sure that sounds. Wait, what? Son. Yeah, when our house explodes, be ready and we'll just run out real fast, and then he turned back to playing with cars like nothing was said. Thankfully that was 5 years ago, and my house has not exploded. My kid keeps talking about the babies in the walls of his bedroom. Very off-putting. Definitely thought it was more funny than creepy, but when my kid was 2 he was scribbling on a piece of paper and quietly sang, to the tune of row, row, row your boat, scrape, scrape, scrape your eyes today. Not said to me, but to one of my colleagues. She has 2 sons, and the younger started to have these terrible nightmares where he's being chased by someone with a huge knife and wants to murder him and all the kids. He would, as you can imagine, wake up screaming and refusing to go back to sleep. And then he asked his mom, Mommy, is there a way how I could make myself not alive? I don't want to live like this anymore. I can't even imagine how his mom must feel when it's her child, but damn. While I was driving my 4-year-old nephew around he spent a solid few minutes telling me about the dead body he stashed in my trunk. This was a long time ago and as far as I know he isn't a serial killer. Remember before I was a baby when I was a different little boy and I had a different mommy and daddy? No buddy, do you remember that? Only a little. When I was 16 and my younger brother was 9 he once said with a dead straight face, and I quote, if I was to murder you in your sleep no one would know or say it was me because I'm just a kid and kids can't kill people. I had to sleep with one eye open after that. Edit. Y'all are starting to make me think I'm gonna die tonight. Do you like burning? The new little girl neighbor. My 3-year-old came up to home, gave me a hug, then whispered in my ear, don't go to work, you will die in a wall. I drive to work and work in construction. Decided to work from home that day. A year ago my daughter was having night terrors, she was 4 at the time. Would wake up screaming every night around 3 a.m. My wife and I would go stay with her until she fell back asleep. We assumed she was just having nightmares, but one morning she had told me that she was afraid because there is a man in her closet that doesn't have a head who keeps waking her up. Creepy and funny. My youngest once said to me, I could make 3 baby hands out of your hand meat. When my daughter was just 2 she said a couple of things that freaked me out. One night she was looking up at the full moon from a stairway landing window. I thought it was cute so I went up and asked her what she was thinking. Imagining she'd say something like, is the moon really made of cheese, Daddy? Or something like that. Instead she looked at me and in a creepy old woman voice said, "We are all in the same cage." Like a good horror movie dad, I ran to the basement and pretended nothing happened.